everybody. Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where we discuss all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jerrell. With me is my co-host, my ABXY, Arthur. Arthur, what's going on?
Nothing much. Trying to stay cold, window closed, so there's no noise. So,
Yeah,
sweating for you guys.
nice. It's a nice shirt, by the way. Hey, I feel like you've worn that on the last episode. Did I
Yeah, I don't have
release
a
the
lot of.
last episode?
I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of shirts. I only, it's a fucking worldwide pandemic. I'm not leaving my house all the time. I work 2 days.
Oh,
I
man.
work. I help my friend every now and again, and he said he's like, "Hey, in the same shirt." I'm like, "Dude, I have like 5 shirts that fit. Shut the fuck up." It may surprise you, but during a pandemic where I'm supposed to stay at home, I gained weight, and a lot of shirts
Yeah, yeah.
don't fit.
Yeah, you and me both, my friend. So before we get into it, of course, I have to mention that this is a Nerdy Bunch production for the Gamers for Life podcast, meaning that we have an awesome selection of podcasts for you guys to check out. For example, the Nerdy Bunch podcast is available every Monday. The brand new podcast that just got announced, the Horror Horrors, will be available every Tuesday starting on October 20th. So be sure to check that out. You have the Nerd Hut Talk Show on Wednesday. The Taunt Talk Star Wars podcast featuring Clarissa and Isabel every Friday, and you get to end your week laying back, playing some games, and listening to the Gamers for Life podcast with me and Arthur. So you can check out
Weekends are
this.
for games.
There you go. You can check out those podcasts every on Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can go to mynerdybunch.com to find those podcasts, or you can just go to url.bio/nerdybunch if you just want the direct links to the podcast that you want to listen to. So feel free to do that. Today is a special episode. And Arthur knows that this is a special episode because we're talking about Xbox Game Pass, my testimony for Xbox Game Pass. We're going right into the big tuna of the day.
I'm not stretching. I'm happy because we're talking about Game Pass.
We're going right into the big tuna of the day. So no well maybe I'll just have the title card come up right now. So big
Who
tuna of
knows?
the
I
day.
might go on a fucking tangent like I always do.
So that's right, folks. Big tune of the day here, Xbox Game Pass, my testimony. So I am a PlayStation 4 owner currently. I don't have the Xbox. I used to, but things happen. Switched to PlayStation because I like those story games. I just feel like they're on PlayStation, and just some notable titles directly from childhood. Now, the biggest thing for me for Xbox Game Pass, because Arthur, you've talked to me about this for quite some time. You said, "Hey, Game Pass,
Years.
but a couple bucks, a few bucks to start off. Like it's great." Yeah,
Yep.
you told me years, and I'd be like, I don't know, another expense, whatever. Now the resignation, what resonated for me, okay, and I kind of have like a story that one that encapsulates this entire experience. But what sold me, and I remember reading this, was playing Xbox Game Pass on your mobile device. Okay, right? So on the cloud, exactly. Now, when I hear playing on your mobile device, usually, 32-year-old Jerrell rolls his eyes and says, "Oh my God, playing this game on your phone." Like, I don't, like, for me, I didn't grow up with Nintendo, right? So, like the Game Boys, the Game Boy Advances, and all that stuff, the DS Lites, like, yeah, those are great systems, great
So you,
games.
you never had a handheld.
I never had I had a handheld, but it never, yeah, like that type of handheld never resonated with me, right? Like I was the guy with the PSP, and I was the guy with like those type of games because they seemed more closer to a console game versus like your 8-bit, your 8-bit
Yeah.
shenanigans, right?
Like Game and Watch and shit.
Exactly. So like I gave the Vita a couple chances, before, the Vita died. And it's funny too because I feel like PlayStation, they, when it comes to digital game things, right? Remember when like the PSP Go was a thing? Like
Uh,
it was
Not a
like
lot because not a lot of people did it either.
right. Well, yeah, but as far as for like what it was achieving, like it was ahead of its time as far as
It
like
really was.
yeah, like
The PS Vita, the PSP Go was arguably the first main um mobile streaming service of full service games. Like
mhm,
not like Candy Crush or Sudoku,
yeah.
like actual full-fledged games.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. It's remember it was just ahead of its time. People were like, "What? No physical games, blah." But the experience on there for playing some of those games, like, wow, this is crazy. This is
They were.
awesome. So, circling back to the Xbox Game Pass, right? For Xbox Game Pass, what the main thing that like just got me and like freaked out was I was like, oh, Doom Eternal, because I was like, because there's an advertisement where it said, oh, you can get Game Pass for $1 for a month. For the first month, $1. So I was like, I have $1. So I signed up and
Glad to hear.
everything. Yeah, exactly. And then I checked to make sure my phone's compatible. My phone's compatible. I have the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and I was like, oh, okay, Doom Eternal. At first, I thought, well, this is probably just like the mobile version of Doom
Mobile
Eternal.
version.
Yeah, like it's going to be a cutesy wootsy, whatever the fuck. So I press it. I see the little xCloud jet, loading. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's neat. And then I remember reading, hey, you can actually use your PlayStation 4 controller and plug it into your Samsung device. And I was like, wait, what? Is that what? Did I just literally read that? I literally just read I could use my PS4 controller for this. Well, let me try it. So I had an
Android.
yeah, I had an OGT adapter. I had the charger, plugged it in, it recognized it, and I'm like, okay. And then the start Doom Eternal, and I press it, and then I go
Metal
in.
music.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like I see like the little character, and I'm like, okay, this kind of looks like a mobile game, whatever. And then I press like this create a new game, etc. It goes into the cinematic, right? And I'm like,
Yep.
that looks pretty good. That's like cinematic. Interesting. Okay. Huh. And then once I get into like the first part and I see my gun, which like looks like a gun that I would see on a console, and then I start moving around and I'm like, holy shit. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. So like I like and then once I chainsaw the first demon in half and all those blood shoots, I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, man. So like I'm going through and I'm murdering all of these monsters and I'm like, they freaking did it. Like this is
Son of a bitch did it.
yeah, he did it. The son of a bitch did it. Like I was like, what is happening? I was like, this is the actual console game, and mind you, I've played both versions of like trying it on Wi-Fi and then trying it on 4G,
Yeah.
and like 95% of my experience was flawless, like
Yeah.
nuts. So and I remember I was like, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, I have to call Arthur.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I was like, this is nuts.
I'm like,
So
11? Isn't Joe like usually asleep by now? What the
yeah,
fuck is going on?
yeah. I was like, because Mario was like, I wonder if it'd be. I was like, you know what? I just have to try. So I remember calling you, and I'm like Arthur. I feel like I'm like a born like I feel like I've seen Jesus like
Like a born
yeah,
again gamer.
yeah, born again gamer. I'm like, dude, Game Pass. You were right, dude.
Yeah, dude, you called me like you literally like yeah, like we're born again, like just the light bulb hit you in the face, like oh
Freaking out, dude, freaking out, and I'm like, I
your
can't.
senses were never more than like 6 words. You're like, Doom, Eternal. It works. They did it. It's on my phone. Like never like it was shortest like
Yeah, I
epiphany
just
like sentences of like
yeah,
PS4 controller. It all works.
like my like my
It's the
like
full game.
yeah, all my professional vocabulary just went out of the window. I was just like dumbfounded. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Like this is something that I have wanted as a child, as far as like having a mobile game where
Yeah.
like I'm playing a
Like
console game.
not a mobile version, like the game.
Exactly. 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 It's just I'm playing it on mobile. It's not a mobile version. And like it's so insane, dude. Like it's funny because I feel like this is even better for casual gamers. Like for me,
Oh yeah.
like I would consider myself not a hardcore gamer as I once was. I would consider myself more of a casual gamer.
Yeah.
But like I'm able to play like in and out mobile, and like The Witcher 3 being on a mobile is like is one like a nuts to me. And like and then also the PC. So like the Game Pass that I got, the Ultimate, where you have all three of those things. You have Xbox Live Gold, and like I was playing with you on Gears 5, via PC,
Yep.
and like I started playing Outer Worlds. Like I'm just like I'm freaking out. Like I'm freaking out because I'm like, how are they doing this? Like how are they providing this service for? And they're cutting all of these things. Like obviously, like, like obviously us working at GameStop, game $60, $40, or whatever the case may be. Xbox Guild Gold. Oh well,
Nope.
it's $60 for a year. Oh, you want to get this thing? It's additional. No, they're saying no. Just $15 a month
Everything,
after the dollar.
everything for $15, man.
What the what the fuck? Like
It's the shit.
it's nuts. Like
Yeah.
it like
It, it's weird because I've been like telling you this and you've been like half absorbing. Like that sounds like a okay. Yeah. I mean, Arthur, dick riding, calm down. Fast forward to you calling me at night and you can't form a fucking sentence. Like the game, my phone, the PS4 controller, playing Xbox games. You
yeah,
couldn't.
like I ordered like the little clip you can put your phone on
Yeah,
top
the
of your
stand.
PS4. I did that that day. I was like, I
Yeah,
have to get one
you
of
took a
these.
picture of it.
Yeah, like nuts. Like now I want to get the razor thing where I can slide my phone in.
Yeah, the wide controller. So it feels like a
Exactly.
PSP, like almost like a PSP, like the wide
Yeah.
rectangle style.
Yeah, and it's probably better for my wrist too, so it's carpal tunnel. But
Yeah,
dude, like, I don't know if it's plane to fly over. I can cut this out, but
I can't hear it.
I can't. Okay, I don't know, weird. But yeah,
Good
like,
way to cover a fart while recording. I've been there. Um,
but what I wanted to say, like, one before you say what you're gonna say, like
oh no, do
the
that.
the biggest thing for me is this X Cloud. They must have started this like years ago, right? Because
Yeah,
they're doing this is insane, and it's probably, and I want to look into this too, but like I feel like this is their technology because Sony's cloud service that they use, like you probably know, but it's from Gaikai. Like they bought the cloud service from Gaikai for like 350 or $380 million or whatever it is. But like I feel like they never really delivered on what they were supposed to deliver. I remember originally they were saying like,
it
yeah, like,
sucks.
yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have all these club games and all this stuff. No, but like it's just it's not,
Oh,
it doesn't really deliver. And
can
like
you
I
play God
know
of War on your phone? No.
but yeah, like, and I know there's, you have PlayStation Now, right? And a lot of people they have like, oh, like, well, there's PS Now, like, what's the big difference, But like for PS Now, like it's console PC, but there's nothing mobile related, whatsoever. And then I hear the service in
Nope.
general for the PlayStation Now, it's not nearly as smooth. You
Nope.
know what I mean? Like I've had a couple of moments where like Doom Eternal like has like cut off or like I got signed out. Oh damn! But it was a very rare occasion. You know what I mean? Like out of like the 4 hours I would play, maybe like 20 minutes of it would be like an issue, which I think is a pretty decent ratio. So like
For a
I
mobile
yeah, for mobile,
streaming.
exactly. So I'm dumbfounded, man. Like I don't understand. One, I don't understand, like, I don't understand how they're making money from this. Like,
Yeah, because I'm. Yeah, you were telling me that. Like it's like how they doing it.
how are they doing it? How are they doing this? This is such a beautiful gift. Like, this
Yeah.
is like of all the things of all the Netflix, all the Netflix to Blockbuster thing where they destroyed Blockbuster because Netflix came in and all these revolutionary things that come into play. This is the most insane, the biggest value that I've ever seen, like, on this planet.
Yeah.
And I'm not like joking by any means. Me being a tech guy and me like understanding value of things that maybe a lot of people don't. Like you and I, we know the deal.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like Game Pass, like it's insane. Like it's insane how much like they're like cost that they're eating to get gamers. And what was the number or the average number you said? How many people were playing Game Pass?
So in April, they had 10 million active users.
Wow,
In September,
wow.
aka COVID lockdown time, it jumped to 15 million. So in a f- in a in what in 4 to I can't do math right now. In 5 months, they increased the users by 50%.
Damn, that's nuts.
And so that was my short term answer of how they're doing this is, you know, is again in half less than half a year, they nearly doubled like how many people were using this service.
Yeah.
And you mentioned mentioned casual gamers, I mean, like like me, a lot of people out of work, da 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 da.
Mm.
But people are still working that still have family responsibilities, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't have too much of their time. They have time to yourself, but not like like, oh, like me, I can just wake up, play games all day, and not give a shit and fall back asleep because I'm still da 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 COVID stuff. But so this again, this mobile thing and the Game Pass Ultimate and this X Cloud allows that to just pop in wherever you want on your device, a full-fledged game, not like a mobile version, a full-fledged game. Do half an hour of it, a few hours, and then pop off and just do whatever you want.
Dude. One of the things too, and I remember asking about this or like wanting this for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like when first like the Xbox achievement stuff was coming into play as far as like, oh,
Yeah.
well, you get an achievement, you know. And
Yep.
I remember, and it's so funny because first you think you're crazy until you're not. Because
Yeah.
I was like, how come they don't just like? I wonder if like someday they would just take like those like achievement points and convert them into like rewards points where you can like buy stuff. They
Yeah.
threw that
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Like once I saw that, I was like, that is more of an incentive to fucking play these games. Like it's insane. Like when I
Yep.
saw, I was like, oh, I did a couple quests. Oh, I can convert into rewards points. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then I looked online and like how you can actually use them to buy like more Game Pass or just like some other things. And I'm like,
Gift Game Pass entries for sweepstakes, actual gift cards, Dunkin' Donut gift card, Starbucks gift card. There's another one like a gas gift card. I think Shell, like
yeah.
fucking Shell. Hey, you want free gas? Play games.
Dude, like I had that I literally had that idea like almost like 17 years ago. Like I had that idea or not 17 years ago, but like 14 years ago whenever the
Yeah.
Xbox 360
When the
first
when
came
the
out.
yeah,
You know, like I was just like, why don't they
have a real life tangible reward.
exactly? Exactly. And it's like make these points where it's something that people actually give a shit about. You know, words like, oh, I have a million gamer points. Like who cares? You know, but now it's like, no, you can actually use this to get stuff. Like
So
it's insane, dude.
so to explain a little bit more what he's speaking of is when you play Game Pass is there's certain things called quests.
Yeah.
And those are like challenges or whatever how exactly they're fucking quests. We don't know what quests are. And they vary. So for example, it's like play two different Game Pass games this week.
Mm-hmm.
Get 4 achievements collectively via Game Pass games.
Mm-hmm.
Get 150 plus gamer score achievement on any Game Pass game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get these, you get points, and you can use these points in the reward section of the Game Pass. Game Pass has a real life tangible reward section. That's we meant the gift cards. You can use your points on gift cards. You can use your points for enter into a sweepstakes. You can use your points to gift Game Pass. Sorry, dude. I've been entering sweepstakes. I could have given you Game Pass a while ago, but you were like half-assed about it. So we could have crossed the pitch a long time ago, but I didn't want to force you into it, and I wanted my points.
Dude, yeah.
But yeah, like I've entered sweeps. Like I haven't won, of course, but yeah, but you can again stash them up in gift cards. Like, oh, I have X amount of points on gas. Fucking again, I think Shell. But I know Dunkin' Donuts for sure because I don't have a car, but I do have a stomach. So I definitely remember donuts more. Starbucks, like, yeah, the fucking Starbucks card. Fucking pumpkin spice time, bitches. Play fucking Game Pass.
Yeah, I am dumbfounded. And the funny thing about this, one of the biggest there's so many smart moves to this, right? Like
So many.
like we don't know the how much they're like the amount that they're eating as far as the loss, but what you
The
can
profit margin.
yeah, exactly. But what we do know is that I mean, I remember I posted something on Facebook, and one of my friends he put, yeah, Game Pass is awesome. Like I'm getting the PS5, but I'm getting like I have Game Pass, so
Yeah.
like you already have PlayStation 5 owners or soon to be PlayStation 5
Yep.
owners, PlayStation 4 owners. They're already investing in Game Pass, so
Yeah.
they're getting the best of both worlds without having an Xbox console, and I feel like that is like such a huge thing. So they're already and I feel like, and part of me wonders too, like, I wonder how much of a hurt will it be to those that say they don't upgrade right away. to the
Yeah.
Xbox Series X, right? You know, because they're manufacturing all these consoles. You know, they're going to
Hmm.
be sitting in stores. Obviously, these stores they pay Xbox already for the consoles, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, because obviously, you know, like back in the day for GameStop, if you sold a $400 PlayStation or $300 PlayStation 4 console, the store only got $20. You know, if it was a
Yeah.
new console, that's why they wanted to do add-on sales. But when it comes to like the Series X, as far as consoles, like I wonder if they're expecting it not to be the biggest hit, but they're banking more off of Game Pass.
Off of
You
their
know,
service.
yeah,
Because you can, I mean, arguably minus the Xbox Series X exclusives, which we have seen, you can still bit like your friend. You can if you have a decent smartphone or a PC, you can benefit from the Xbox service, from the
yeah,
Xbox Game Pass service, without having an Xbox console at all.
yeah,
You do not own you don't own Xbox One, Xbox One Slim. As right now, you're not pre-ordering the new Series X, and yet here you are. You're like Doom on your phone. You and I playing Gears of War on your PC,
yeah,
and you mentioned Outer Worlds, you mentioned Doom, you mentioned Gears. These are games you didn't pay for a face value. I mean, that list alone, Gears I think is still a $40 to $60 game.
yeah,
Outer Worlds is a $40 game. Dooms is a $60 game. So rather than you paying 100 and 140, 160 right now just for those three games alone, you've paid $1 via this promotion,
yeah,
and next month you're gonna get billed $15.
yeah,
So that again, even if there's only 2 to 3 games of this huge list, if there's only literally 2 to 3 games on Game Pass that you want to play and beat, you already get your money's worth.
yeah, exactly,
Because, like I
exactly.
said, back in the day, I didn't mind for Sea of Thieves and State of K2, which I still haven't played because it's really intimidating. But again, this was before Ultimate, so it was only $10. So it was only $10 a month. Sea of Thieves, $60 game. And the other game, State of K2 and Crackdown 3, would have cost me more than $120.
Yeah,
That's what sold me.
yeah,
Those 3 games alone made the value immediately made value Game Pass's value pay for itself.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I think the last question I have on this Game Pass thing before I'm just like, oh, but like I wonder like what the lifeline is for like these new publishers, these new developers, mainly new developers, right?
Yeah,
That are invested in the Game Pass. Because I remember for Project Red, CD Project Red, you know, they
yeah,
said no, Cyberpunk is not going to be on Game Pass. It is a game coming out, and people need to buy it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They made a conscious decision saying no, it's not going on Game Pass. I'm
yeah.
wondering how many of these other developers that are making games for Game Pass, you know, specifically, you know,
Sorry.
how for those and more in general for those developers that Xbox doesn't own, they're just more like maybe like licensed to them or just like you know they have like a
Yeah,
contract with them, but they're
partnered
not
loosely.
exactly. Like I wonder how those like how does Game Pass affect those people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. And here's the thing: there are dozens, if not hundreds, of publishers we've never heard of. If you don't believe me, go into the new game section and scroll through the pages of games you've never heard of.
Yeah,
The pages of publishers you've never heard of. So, thinking about that, like I was connecting that with you're a new indie developer. You have a game you think is going to be a success, and you want to go beyond this. You want to make games beyond this game. I think Game Pass is a great launching platform. Like I can't think of the word. A jumpstart location.
yeah,
There's like because there's publishers that will release one game to get funding or anything else for this secretly huge project in the background.
yeah.
For example, I forget the name of the publisher, but No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
No Man's Sky had to release Joe Danger, um, okay games that did actually in terms of
Oh, Hello
financially
Games, right? Hello
decently well.
Games.
They sold both 1 and 2 sold pretty well, and that allowed them to make No Man's Sky, which had a rough start, but where it is now, it's a successful game. So pretty much short version there. I think a lot of indie developers see a potential. Again, we don't know the profit margins,
Sure.
but at least in terms of namesake, getting your name out there, there's a potential for that in Game Pass.
Yeah.
Um, that there's a potential as an indie developer to have your name on a successful Game Pass game, potentially featured at E3 or now digital presentations, and can have you release your next game, your next title, your secret project, your quote unquote dream project you want to launch, but you have to launch something else to get to that point. So again, profit wise, I don't know,
Yeah.
but we both know in this industry it does help to get your name out there. It does help. It does help to have your next launch, say, by the makers of your first game that was successful in Game Pass.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Well, yet what is yet to be seen, man. Right now, I'm getting ready for that $15 pay because Xbox Game Pass is insane.
I'm about to message you if I want to play Gears after this. Shit.
I very well, very well might it might be worth making my wife mad. So, all right, folks. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Again, Gamers for Life podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Jerrell Powell, and my co-host Arthur Thomas.
I mean,
There you go. All right, guys. We'll see ya. Thank you so much.